Well, I think there are now 73 pockets of resistance inside FIFA. I think Prince Ali did very well today. Surprised me that he got that amount of votes. So I think that's a good sign. But I think FIFA have more to fear from the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation than anything inside FIFA.
Sepp Blatter has delivered money to countries outside Europe for football in Africa and Asia. They appear to have voted for him. Is there anything inherently corrupt about that, do you think?
Well, no, there's not. I mean, I've travelled the world investigating match fixing with FIFA, and I've seen and visited a lot of those football associations who are absolutely in abject poverty and rely desperately on FIFA money. And what FIFA have tried to do by moving a lot of the wealth to the poorer nations and associations is a good thing. It's just that the way they've done it is not.
Okay, do you think there's anything wrong with that relationship? Because that appears to be how he survives.
Yeah, I think that's a really crucial part of how Sepp Blatter manages to secure re-coronation after re-coronation. It's not just that he turns a blind eye to the rampant corruption, in the rank and file of FIFA, but it's also that he kind of has this patronage relationship where he does buy favour and he has access to FIFA's vast coffers. They've got $1.5 billion in cash reserves, and he can dole out that money in goal programme funding. And I think that's part of the reason why actually there is a culture of vote buying in FIFA, that actually anyone who goes up against Sepp Blatter, like Mohammed bin Hammam from Qatar did in 2011, has that to contend with. He has all the financial firepower of the organisation, and other people then feel they need to offer favours as well.
I mean, there's so much money involved with sponsorship and with host nations. Can he legitimately say, look, I really don't know what's going on with this, I'm just doing my job organising World Cups?
I think it beggars belief that, embarking on his 5th term in office, that he really isn't aware of the fact that he's presiding over one of the world's most rampantly corrupt organisations. I mean, he has to know what's going on and where the bodies are buried. And I think that is part of the reason he survives, that he's protecting a lot of people who have a lot to hide.
Mr. Steen, from your knowledge of FIFA, do you think that's fair? One of the world's most rampantly corrupt organisations?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's documented now, isn't it, over the last 17 years. It's corruption scandal after corruption scandal. And I think that Mr. Blatter has been at the helm of his boat for that time, and it's either gross competence, negligence, or mismanagement. But to say that he's not aware that any of it's going on, well, many a corporate leader would have been removed way before this.
Where do you think the rot is, the corruption is? Where is it within the structure of organising world football?
Where is it within inside FIFA? Well, I think it starts at the top. I mean, let's not forget that inside the House of Zurich, there are 300 people that work just like you and I do, day after day, for the good of FIFA. They're not involved in any of this at all. In fact, the analogy would be they're a lot like a football club that changes ownership, for instance. Does it affect the players? No, they go out and do the job. What happens in the boardroom doesn't affect them. And it's the same with FIFA. The people that put on World Cup after World Cup and do a fantastic job are really tainted by those at the top. The fact they have access to the contracts, to the sponsors. They're in a position where they can actually be a part of deals and take money.
I mean, you must feel that Blatter's a bit like Rasputin, no matter what you stab him, poison him, whatever, he still carries on going. Is there a way, can further investigation bring an end to this, do you think?
I mean, I think the involvement of the FBI is a game changer, personally. I think that, I was speaking to somebody quite close to Michael Garcia, FIFA's internal investigator, who had such difficulty actually trying to...
There's a suggestion he fudged it, rather.
There is a suggestion that he fudged it, and I think he could have been more assiduous, but I also think that, he did have some evidence in his report which FIFA was very keen to boulderize and cover up. And I spoke to someone close to him who was saying that they really feel that now the Swiss prosecutors are involved and they have powers of subpoena, that might really blow open some of the dead ends that they encountered. But then the FBI have now, brought in these 7 officials who will know an awful lot about what's been going on inside world football. And if they can get those people to flip and start talking the way they got Chuck Blazer, the former US official, to start talking, then really things might start to come out and that could change things.
OK, I'll leave it there. Thank you both very much indeed.